Bill Maher is giving some great commentary lately. Of course, he's making everybody mad, right? He's talking about fat acceptance. Okay, now we did it on the show. We talked about how obesity is being not only normalized, but, lifted up like it's the holy grail now. Now it's cool to be obese. It's positive, it's beautiful, it's healthy. So the experts in the woke kingdom say. So on Friday night, he has a closing monologue. And this is the title of the article of the Daily Mail. Bill Maher says woke fat acceptance is now a national security issue because obesity is driving down Pentagon recruitment and SLAMS social justice warriors' Orwellian obsession with body positivity. It's a great title. That's exactly what he does on the show. And what he does is he cites a New York Times, of all places, think about that too for a second, 2019 article that showed that about a third of potential recruits now to the military are too overweight to enlist. A third of them, too overweight to enlist. Think about that for a second. Let's read from the Daily Mail. The article also noted that obesity rates in the Army, Air Force, and Marine Corps have doubled in less than a decade, while the Navy obesity rates have risen sixfold since 2011. Those rates could negatively impact physical performance and military readiness. The authors, now these are authors of the Defense Department's Medical Surveillance Monthly Report. This is their job, to surveil this stuff and give information about it. This is what Maher says. And if you're in any way participating in this joyful celebration of gluttony that goes on now, you have blood on your hands, full stop. You can make believe you're fighting some great social justice battle for a besieged minority, but what you're really doing is enabling addicts, interesting, food addicts, which I thought we decided was bad. There's a disturbing trend going on in America these days, rewriting science, interesting, to fit ideology or just to fit what you want reality to be. We've gone from fat acceptance to fat celebration. It's a great way to put it. This is new. Letting yourself go to a point of pride. And he goes on and on and on. And the article actually also cites a study by Johns Hopkins University from December. And some of the numbers they give in here, people, it's crazy. The average body mass index increased 4.6 points over the past 4 decades. The number of overweight people between the ages of 18 to 25 went from about 18% in the late 1970s to nearly 24% by 2018. And it says the largest spike in measurements was in the prevalence of obesity. That's having a BMI of 30 or higher, which increased from about 6% to nearly 33% in that time period. So people, bottom line, people are getting dangerously fat. Okay, that's not a PC way to say it. They're getting fat. It's dangerous to their own health and well-being, and it's being glorified, and people are being told, no, fat is beautiful, and they're getting the wrong message, right? They're getting the wrong message. What you should be told is this is not healthy for you. You're predisposing yourself to a number of conditions, to a number of diseases. Listen, you want to be overweight, you want to not care about that, that's up to you. You have that right 100%. Make that decision for yourself. But these people who are now influencers, who are out there and they're like, oh, appreciate your body, and they're grossly overweight and they've got like a cheeseburger in one hand and French fries in the other, and they're making a mockery out of health and wellness, that's a disgrace. It's a national disgrace. And all of the magazines that are complicit in this and all of the media that's complicit in this, he says they're going to have blood on their hands. Well, he's saying that because these people are going to be closer, you're inching closer to death when you're obese. It's a reality. In the same way, why does it not bother people when we say things like those who are grossly underweight, for example, are problematic? You can look at someone who looks anorexic and you can say, that's not healthy. That's not good for you, right? Why can't you look at somebody who's obese and make the same commentary? Well, because it's not politically correct to do so. Sorry, I had to take that so that I didn't have a coughing spell. All right, so why is this happening? The why of this is significant, right? And one part of it is woke culture, as we just talked about. I think one of my first shows here, we exposed Cosmo magazine. We talked about, all of these women's magazines that are now glorifying, like, fat is healthy, fat is beautiful, all of that. Go on Instagram, though. It's really quite remarkable what you'll see. The other part of this is that people are addicted to screens, right? So we are more sedentary than we've ever been. They want you, sitting looking at the metaverse. We talk about that all the time, on your phone, on your computer, and it's affecting kids at disproportionate rates. I want to show you a picture. Tyler, if you don't mind pulling this up. This is a 1970s beach photo. I don't know how closely you can see what's going on there, but you're like looking, everybody looks fit. Everybody looks like they've been to a gym. You don't see obesity. You have to really comb through to see, what's going on here? And you have to ask yourself why. What's interesting about this is that it wasn't a time where gym culture was a thing, right? Gym culture is new. Gym culture is something we do now. That wasn't what it was like then, but you know what people were doing back then? They were getting outside. They were active. They weren't on their phones. They were hanging out. They were playing volleyball. They were doing something. What's horrifying to me about this is that you walk around, seriously do it, pay attention to kids. There are some, and I'm not going to sugarcoat, there are some very fat kids running around. Okay, now I know the baby fat on the infants is cute and all that. That's different. I'm talking about 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, chunky, heavy, reaching for, I take my kid to the playground. You would not believe the snacks that I see. Hartley comes over to me. He's got, you know what we bring? Nuts. Dehydrated, raw. He's got walnuts, pecans, pistachios. Sometimes we'll, bring him a banana. He'll have some little fruit in a cup he likes. He likes strawberries. That's it. I see Dunkaroos, those things you dunk in with the icing, old school Fun Dip. I'm like, what? Crazy snacks, everything in a bag, everything packaged. And you see these little kids that are overweight. Not in a healthy, I'm not talking about robust, because my kid is, he's got traps. It's crazy. He's like, I put a picture up recently and I was showcasing his muscles because he eats a ton of grass-fed meat. Like he'll sit and eat 2 hamburgers, like done. It's scary what's happening. This obesity stuff is scary. I'm glad to see Bill Maher. Bill Maher doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit. He makes a lot of money. He's got an audience that expects him to say what's what. Good for him. He talked about, remember when he really started taking heat? When he was talking about, radical Muslim extremism, took heat for that. He talked about the vaccine and the mandates too. He was like, what the hell, man? What's going on? And he's not a conservative, right? He's not. He'll talk about this now because it's disgusting what's going on. These magazines don't care that they're complicit in undermining the health and wellness of people, particularly women, I'll say. I see it a lot more with women around the country that are now obese and they're like fat and proud with a big t-shirt and a big ice cream. No, let's empower those people to have options to get healthier. We just got through COVID, didn't we? Went through that whole big thing with comorbidities and this, that. And what we found is that obesity was a comorbidity. That if you were obese, you were more likely to get chronically sick from COVID. In the beginning, right away, land in the hospital, or to develop later problems, right? With your lungs, with this and that. So let's just be honest about it. If you want to be fat, great, be fat. Like, I don't care. But let's be honest about what that does to your body and your overall health. And for a long time, people were afraid to say it. And now I'm glad to see he's not. If you like the short clip, you can catch another one here, or you can catch the full episode right here.